Hi everyone, I'm back. Hello, hi. Hi everyone and welcome back to today's episode of Dan Studio, where we bring you the latest news in a short and informative format and of course, in the comfort of a studio. Now, in order to comply with the government's issues, we here at Dan Studio have decided to self-isolate and also to continue to work from home. Which is why, as you can see, we are no longer in the studio but are recording this episode in my living room. Now, as most people know, the coronavirus has been around for a couple of months now. And most people are quite informed about the facts and information about this pandemic. Most people would have been prepared in their homes and readying up for what's to come with the COVID-19 virus. Like, even stocking up on guns.
Across the United States tonight, several cities have shut down, closing schools, restaurants and implementing curfews. One of the more sinister sights, queues of customers lining up to panic buy weapons, fearing civil unrest and riots.
Forget toilet paper. In America today, they're lining up for firepower.
We're just concerned that people might be getting a little crazy.
Anthony Gordon among dozens waiting for hours outside this gun store in Los Angeles.
I've always been on the fence about owning a gun, but we had a family discussion about it and thought it was the right move at this time.
This is my gun. Pew pew. However, there were a lot of people who were still at the time overseas when the COVID-19 virus became super serious and all of these new laws and regulations then started to come into place. Now, it's obvious for whatever reason that these people were overseas traveling, whether it be for work or it be for holiday. They have to come home eventually. Now, here in Australia, it has been announced that all citizens coming back into Australia after traveling will have to go into a mandatory 14-day quarantine into hotels. This is actually because of people not adhering to the self-isolation requirements, as President Scott Morrison has said that 2/3 of the nation's confirmed cases were actually from people coming back from overseas.
Back in Australia, but the country they've returned to is very different.
Was it a surprise to see the army here?
Yeah, just nice to be home. This is the new national regime, enforced from midnight. Inside the airport, all arrivals are screened before being sent to mandatory quarantine.
I think it's good.
It'll be fun.
Now, as you can see in the previous video, there are people lining up after coming through customs and security. They're being ushered onto buses which would eventually take them to their, appointed hotel rooms. Now, there are actually a lot of people who are actually very disgruntled about this fact. And, some of them are even thinking the way that they're being treated are like they're being treated as prisoners in these hotels.
I don't know how any of this is going to be managed by the government in any way. They've got dietary requirements, health requirements, and they're locking them up in a hotel.
Raj Kumar wants his 19-year-old daughter at home to self-isolate.
I'm very frustrated, I'm very angry. What's going on? I just come here to pick her up.
Sitting outside the Intercontinental, but unfortunately 3 hours have now gone and we've been directed to go to the Ibis. So something pretty seriously wrong has been happening with getting people into the Intercontinental.
Finally, Peter O'Connor made his destination.
Well, after 5 hours out of the airport, hanging around the Intercontinental in a bus, and now good old-fashioned Ibis. This is basic.
Why are you keeping me stranded in here? You have no idea. You can't keep people locked up in their rooms.
No, we need
They give them nothing.
sunshine.
Yeah. Sunshine, air.
Exercise.
I can't even get fresh air.
Now, don't get me wrong, but this is hear me out. This is just a personal opinion. But I think this is a great thing. This is a good thing. You get a free hotel room. You get free food, everything is paid for. You don't have to worry about your water and your electricity bills. You definitely don't have to worry about going to the supermarket and fighting over supplies. Like, it's great. It's a great opportunity. The only downside is you can't actually go back to your own home, which, sucks. I get it. But people need to start seeing the positive side of things, see the good thing in all these things that the government are trying to do for us. Now, think about this. How good is free food and accommodation? No rent. You don't have to worry about rent. You don't have to worry about your groceries. I would love to have everything paid for me. Also, there's toilet paper in the hotels. I don't even need to use my old newspapers anymore. I can use the toilet paper in the hotel. Beautiful. Now, obviously, the food you're going to be getting is not going to be some 5-star Michelin class, kind of food that you were eating on your holiday. It's not going to be served to you by Gordon Ramsay. But it's free food. That's a good thing. Who doesn't love free food? I love free food. No matter how bad it is, I'll take it. You don't want to eat it? Give it to me. I'll take it. I want your free food. Now, I'm sure the food you're cooking at home is not Michelin starred. And clearly the Big Mac and the KFC that you're buying from down the road is also not going to be Michelin starred. But the hotel food is free. You have to see that 4-letter word, free. F-R-E-E. Free. I do think everyone is just a little bit stressed out over the whole situation. And obviously it's a tough time, but both parties, both the people staying at the hotels as well as the hotel staff, I do think they should be a bit more considerate and understanding of each other. And obviously it'll all work out because everyone's in this together. So as a constant reminder, I would like to remind everyone that the coronavirus, again, is a extremely serious issue. We should be complying with what the government is asking us, as social distancing right now is the best weapon against the virus. We need to be understanding that the next couple of months, life is going to be tough, but it's going to get better in the long run, as we don't want to wipe out humanity. Remember to avoid crowded places and always maintain a good level of hygiene. Always remember to wash your hands and always, wear face masks if you need to. So please remember to subscribe and punch that like button and share our content, as we know it's a tough time for everyone. Here at Dan Studio, we obviously still want to bring everyone, light-hearted content to keep everyone's spirits up. And obviously everything, we just want to have a little bit of fun, say a few jokes, come back and forth. It's fun to interact with people when, it's so hard to actually interact with people these days. So I'm your host, Dan. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Yes!